What's up guys, it's Shay. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about beauty, nursing, and lifestyle weekly. Today I'm bringing you guys a nursing/lifestyle video. So most of you guys who are on my channel know that I have recently did a video talking about the jobs that I worked before becoming a nurse, and it dawned on me that while I talked about those jobs, I wanted to give my nursing students some tips on jobs that they can obtain that will not only benefit their future career, but also benefit them during the time they are in nursing school. So we're going to talk about the top 5 jobs I think are best for nursing students. This does not apply to everyone, of course, but I think this would be very beneficial to most of you guys. If any of you guys are already wondering about the pros and cons of working during nursing school, make sure you check out the video that I'll link above and down in the description box, as I have already pleaded my case on this. But without further ado, let's jump into these money makers. Okay guys, so for the number 1 job, let's go ahead and state the obvious that I'm going to say. As a nursing student, one of the best jobs you can have is either being a patient care technician, a patient care associate, a CNA, or a medical assistant. These are all basically what we kind of term as a tech or a CNA under the nursing bridge. So it's quite obvious why these are good jobs for you in nursing school. I mean, you're doing tasks as that are in your scope of practice, but you're able to monitor and observe the nurse in her scope of practice. You're able to learn the difference between the scope of practices, so when you do get to that point as a nurse, you know how to delegate, and you also know what is not in the scope of practice for your tech or your CNA. Obviously, you're in an environment where you can learn so much. I remember in my journey, I was a patient care technician before I became a nurse, and I was able to learn so much between the equipment that is used, how the equipment is used, the charting system and things like that, that when I did get to my nursing career and my orientation, it made it much more of a breeze for me to focus on plain nursing and RN tasks, because I already knew what some of the basics were in the hospital. So I think it's just a very overall great and rewarding career. You will also find nurses who will link with you and are able to help you through your degree. You can ask them questions about stuff you have on your homework. If there's something you don't understand, like for instance, I remember we went over, I think it was congestive heart failure or like the arrhythmias, which is very funny because those are the exact units I work in now. But I remember at the time we were going over them through school, I didn't really understand them too well. So I literally pulled a nurse aside and I kind of asked her some questions, and she also kind of guided me through the chart of a patient that she had that comorbidity. So I was able to understand it more because I was able to see it in like literally real time between seeing their chart and seeing the patient in person. So being any of those, patient care tech, CNA, whether you're working in the hospital, whether you're working in the doctor's office, whether you're working in a nursing home, any type of medical field that you're working in, you are getting a good solid background and preparation for your nursing career. So the second career I'm going to talk about that dawned on me was a phlebotomist. And why this dawned on me was simply because this is one of the things that I wish I learned how to do before I became a nurse, which is to draw blood and do IV sticks. Now, as a phlebotomist, I don't necessarily think and most of them do IV sticks, but I definitely know that they draw blood, and most of the time if you're good at drawing blood, you will be bomb at doing IV sticks. So phlebotomy is a certification. It takes a little bit to get that certification, but it is a quick course. It's similar to like getting your CNA or something like that. And don't knock me, phlebotomy is a career. I'm not saying that it's not a career or it's not comparable to nursing, but if you were thinking about going into nursing in the future, if you want to do something to get a quick coin or something to kind of start or jumpstart your healthcare career, phlebotomy would be a great option. Like I said, you're going to learn how to draw blood, you're going to learn how to do labs, you're going to learn about like lab criticals and what certain labs stand for and what you're looking for and what you have to report back to like either the nurse or the doctor or things like that. So just learning in that environment in medicine in general will be a very good opportunity for a nursing student, and it'll also give you, like I said, a head start on learning how to do those blood draws and IV sticks that you will have to do when you eventually become a registered nurse. Okay, the third career, we're going to throw a little cannonball, a little random one in here, because I sat and thought about it and I was like, you know what, I think this would be a good career for a nursing student. And I actually have a lot of my colleagues and classmates that I went to nursing school with who actually did this through their journey. So in my opinion, I think a server would be a great position for someone who is looking into going to nursing. Now, before you guys knock me and say that has nothing to do with medicine, let's talk about it. So first of all, you're learning how to deal with the general population. You have to learn how to talk to people and how to interact with people. You're interacting with people not only to make sure you're providing service to them and like you're doing your job, but also so you can get that tip. So you're learning how to be persuasive, how to be charismatic, and all those perfect, you know, people personality skills that would make you thrive at the bedside. Another reason it's also good, guys, is for the obvious. The coin for servers is great. You get these tips. These tips will help you along with, you know, paying for school, paying for books and things like that. Now, I know it's hard for me to actually speak on this during the current pandemic because I know the pandemic has really caused to throw like a wrench in people who are not necessarily medical and even people who are medical. But I still don't doubt that when all this stuff is over, this would be a great career for anybody who's looking into going into nursing. It is flexible. You're able to only work weekends if you need to. And of course, weekends is when you will make the big bang for your buck. So that would also help you with your nursing school schedule. And like I said before, you are, although you're not directly doing anything medical, you are kind of gaining a little bit of bedside manner when you're acting in a table manner, if that makes any sense. So that's just my opinion. You guys let me know if you agree, but I think doing any type of service like a server in a restaurant would be a great job to do while you're in nursing school. Alright guys, we are going to reach 2 more and then we will be done. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is something that I've heard a lot of my friends doing during nursing school, which is also another medical career or a medical job, but it's able to allow you not to deal with necessarily and I don't want to say stress because every job is stressful, but it allows you to see another side of medicine. So the other thing I was going to talk about was desk jobs in medical, whether it's registration, whether it's a secretary on a unit or in a medical office. Things like that I think would be very beneficial for nursing students. You're able to have a job where you're able to see the other side of the medical coding. I thought it was very good. Insurance claiming and things like that. So that kind of helps you understand, even like when you're at the bedside, it makes you more frugal and like you're paying attention to what you're using for your patients. Not that you're going to, you know, absolutely say, oh, I'm not going to use this for my patient because it costs too much. But it makes you think about like, okay, what can I do to make sure we're getting the most use and the best use out of products at the bedside. I remember this from registration. I remember having to order these supplies. I remember this costing this much. I remember the insurance didn't cover this for a patient. There's just like little things like that that kind of give you a background look at medical. These are also nice jobs that, in my opinion, I have heard, like even on the slow days, you can bring your textbook, you can sit back and just, you know, try to study. And again, you have people around you who are able to help you with your what you're actually trying to apply. So like you're reading the textbook, like I said in the beginning, hey, I'm reading about seizures. You're doing registration or something like that, and you see a nurse or you see a doctor or you see a neurologist. Yo, tell me what you know about seizures because I'm having a hard time understanding it. I think these jobs, especially the medical jobs, help you network also. So it helps you kind of not only get that application, but also be able to network with different people. So they can kind of say, hey, I remember her. She was in nursing school. She was asking me questions about this. Let's hire her because, you know, she was very like on top of it in nursing school and wanting to learn and things like that. So last but not least is another job that I actually engaged in while I was in nursing school, and that is a pharmacy technician. So guys, I feel like being a pharmacy tech was one of the best jobs I've had before I became a nurse because it honestly helped me so much. Even though the technician is not under the scope of practice of a pharmacist, you are still having to learn what drugs are for, what they do. Even though you're not counseling patients because it's not in your scope as a technician, you're hearing the pharmacist, you know, interact with patients. you're learning, you're observing, you know side effects even if you didn't think you know them. It's just a very great experience. I'll never forget when I first got hired as a pharmacy tech. It was actually the same semester that I was taking pharmacology, and honestly, being a pharmacy tech and seeing what my pharmacist was, you know, counseling on, and, you know, knowing what the drugs for really helped me succeed in that class. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is when you go out and decide to do a job or have a job during nursing school, of course you got to make sure you prioritize and put school first. But when you're thinking about school, also think about what jobs will help you in school. How can you get the best, not only bang for your buck, but best bang for your brain? Pharmacy tech, I'm learning at work. Work is helping me study for class even when I'm not studying for class. Same thing with the patient care tech or the CNA. I'm doing things at work. I'm looking at patients. I'm observing patients. Assessing patients, even if you're doing it from like afar or observing, is helping you study for your core classes. Same thing with, even like I said, the registration or a secretary, a unit secretary or a medical office secretary. You working is not only getting you coin, but it's also assisting you and progressing in your career. And I guess that's where I'm trying to get to with this video. Make sure when you do choose a job as a nursing student, you're choosing something that's going to give you the best bang in all aspects. Like I said, best bang for your buck, you're making some coin, and best bang for your brain. Not only are you able to do a job, but you're able to do a job that's going to help you with your long-term goal or purpose. And even like I said, I mentioned the server as my number 3, and even if that's not giving you, you know, the bang for your brain, it's still preparing you. Like I said, that tableside manner is preparing you for your bedside manner. So overall, guys, those are the 5 jobs that I think would be best for nursing students. I'm sure you guys could add 20 or 30 more to the list. I'm not saying these are like the top of the top of the top of the line, but this is just what I've experienced and the way I can best see them contributing to your overall purpose or career as well. So make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Comment down below if you can think of any other jobs you think would be good for nursing students. And if you're in nursing school, let me know, what are you doing right now? Are you working? Are you not working? And if you're working, what are you doing? Let me know. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for tuning in.